Okay, and good evening all, and welcome to TFC Live, episode 28, Subtastic September. It's time to go nautical. This evening, then, I've got myself here. Ren, obviously, as you can see there, is in the admin chat as well, and also Liam99. Obviously, luscious Liam there, but he's working away this week, so he's on his.
He doesn't have his hair goo, so he won't show up.
No goo. No, I'm in a hotel room, guys. I'm pretty tired as well, but I'll try and do my best to participate. And have we lost Mark? I don't know. Mark seems to have gone quiet.
Yeah, is my mic okay there?
Yeah, I can hear you.
Oh, that was weird.
A bit excited, but
it went a bit quiet there for some reason. Not quite sure what happened. Anyway, I'm back, so that's okay. So there's a lot of slides tonight, but what we decided to do basically, because I'm hosting and I'm doing the slides as well, the slides are going to be up, guys. They're going to be in the background and that sort of stuff. Myself and Renan read through them, so we'll give you the chance to read through the slides, but we'll talk about the slides and basically the content. But we're not going to read them word for word because there's an awful lot of information. But not only we had the well, in fact, I'll just quickly screen share what I've got first, and then I'll give you the content, and then from there, then we'll discuss each piece, basically just from the content page then. So if I just present to everybody.
Okay.
Is that okay there, Ben? Can you see that?
Yeah, I can see it. Can you put in presentation mode though, full screen?
Oh, is it not? Hang on 2 seconds.
So there's dodgy links on the bottom of your screen, Mark.
yeah, exactly.
There you go. Now it's
is that
good.
okay?
Perfect.
Is that all right?
Yes.
Okie dokie. There's nothing dodgy on my screen, mate.
Yeah.
Honest governor. Okay, so there we go. TFC episode 28, September 7th, 16. Okay, so the slide pattern tonight is going to contain quite a lot, okay, but the key points we want to go through is obviously the Phantom Warfare, which is the TLC that's come out today. The key points from the September WiP, because we haven't covered the WiP yet. We've just extracted a few key points, and the bug fixes in tuning. And then we're going to skip over and just have an overview of the other items there, which is the state of the game, the event arc, okay, PVE Separation, Megaships, the chores, and basically the communication issues between us, the player base, and Kicksite itself. So if you're happy, then that's what we'll do. We'll go in depth on the first three, and we'll basically have the others in the background. That's the plan. Happy with that, Ren?
Okay, let's roll. Yeah, let's roll.
Okay, so Phantom Warfare, basically, clearly it started today. It rolls for a full 7 days, basically. You need to be a level 40 plus to take part. We all know how to bump our bases up. If you're not a level 40 yet, if you're a level 30 yet, something like that, go out, build something, cancel it, build it again, cancel it, build it again. Keep doing that until, obviously, you bump up your levels. Many of the, and I've noticed that the radio's in chat as well, many people have been advised to do that, and so far no one's had any issues. So the timelines are there, as you can see, 1 through to tier 5. I'll just say I just completed it myself. I finished it now. The last target in the tier 5 was the same target, the boss target that was in the preview raid, okay, with exactly the same amount of damage, so bear that in mind. We'll talk about price.
And I mean, in other words, I think you want to highlight that stupid mortar that hovers above you and wait until the surface was there, right?
Yeah, it was. Okay, so basically, when those missiles or mortars, whatever they are, went up in the air and then hovered around, I popped up and it absolutely annihilated one of my hell rates. Absolutely smashed it out. All right. Yeah. So, however, second time round I went in there. One thing I will say is on the fleet repairs, they're giving you an instant reduction on whatever your charge is. So if you get a 6 coin repair, they're doing it for 4. They're giving you the option there and then straight away if you wish to. And that pops up every time. So that was quite decent of them. So if you die in the water, you do have an option then to save a couple of coin if you choose to coin, so you can go straight back in without going into your base.
That's good.
So that was quite decent. I think it was about a quarter off from what I was working out. But then the second time I went in, simply I just hit the 3 megaships, and then I then sailed around afterwards to get the skirmisher fleets instead. So anyway, so there we go. That's the timings. There's 5 run-throughs to do. 1 to 3, to be honest. If you've got Hellrace, I think you'll do it almost instant fix. Number 4, it took me with 1 ship. I got it down to almost. It nearly killed 1 ship, and I did actually kill it off. And then, like I say, it took me a fleet and a half to get through tier 5, to be honest. But I was only using 2 subs, so there we go.
I went through it with my Predators. I had no problem at all.
Your Preds, did you, mate?
No Preds. Havoc 2s, I think.
Predator 2s, and yeah. And what were the subs? What were the torpedoes called back then?
Havoc torpedoes.
Yeah, they're not so much Havoc anymore, are they?
Well,
they're more like Had It.
I think you can call them Tickle, the Tickle torpedo.
Okay, and one thing obviously you've noticed, because everybody went charging in to have a look at what the prizes were, it's confirmed, and we've been saying this before, that there's basically no Phantom Hell Reef, and it's not going to be out for an extended period of time. Can't say what that extended period of time is, but it's going to be an extended period of time.
Next whole store, 50 million.
I'm not so sure about that. I don't even think. Well, we'll see. Anyway, so there we go. So what have we got then? So we've got obviously a Phantom Barracuda, okay? And bear in mind, as I said, these Phantoms are already up to the maximum capability of the tier of the retrofit. So this will come in as a retrofit 15 already, ready to go in with your R15 Cudas, okay? But interesting in the release of this one, then you obviously get the BD63 Torp as well. So the B Torp is there with you, which is also in the FM at prize pack number 1 this week as well on tier 1. Sorry.
Now I think it's important to say a lot of players in our community were asking how they could get anything better than Havocs, because you couldn't get torpedoes anywhere other than the Charon in the raid. And we took that problem to Kixeye. I mean, the community leaders from our TFC and other communities, and I think they listened and they added those torpedoes to the campaign and also to the FM. So now everyone capable of doing tier 1 in FM or tier 1 in this campaign can get the D63B. And if you watch TSM's event preview, he used the B Torps on the Cudas, and I think on Nighthawks you had the Z. But you used the Bs on the Cudas, right?
Yeah, and on the Spectres as well.
Yeah, and it works well. So this is if you don't have anything better than Havocs, that solves your problem.
Yeah, I managed to hit tier B with that, so that did the job. So not too bad. Okay, so that that B Torp is there. It's available 2 different methods. It's up to you, and I'd be surprised if you haven't got Kudas. You will definitely be able to do this level of the event, but don't take them all 4 in together. Take them into targets 1 at a time. Don't go piling them forward, because the explosion is there. So just run 1 target, or just run them forward. That's my advice anyway. Now this sub builds, by the way, in just over a day, so that's not bad either. And it fixes in just about half an hour. So if you want to lead for your hell race, then this is probably the sub to do.
And that's half an hour normal time, so 15 minutes.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah. So I think that's quite decent, to be honest. So that's what I'm going to put in front of my 4 hell race. That's my intention anyway.
Cool.
Because it's got good speed. Okay, so then we've got the Phantom Spectre. Yet again, okay, it's a single capacity then. Interesting torpedo now. We've got a D63Z. And actually, brand new torpedo. Doesn't exist, okay? It's a slight bit heavier by about 15 tons, but it has got a bit more power. It's got the same range as the B torpedo, so if you're going to be able to get to this campaign, you may want to consider, if you've got plenty of space on your submarine, then actually not go for a B torp and actually use this instead. It's got the same, most of the characteristics are the same for that torpedo, okay, but it's just
more punch.
A little bit more punch. Yeah, it has. And for a tiny little bit more weight, and I don't think there's any, when you put B's on it, I don't think there's any weight issues anyway. So everything else seems to
then you got to think, if you're using any special that buffs your damage, going from a higher base number makes a big difference, right? If you have anything that's buffing your damage by 30%, 40%, you go from a higher base, it makes a big difference.
Yeah. So, I mean, and you can look at this already. If you haven't even started the campaign, obviously you can go into shipbuilder, go into design mode, pull up your submarine that's in there, and then add this and play with the build already. It'll be redded out because obviously you haven't got it yet, but you can still go and play with it and that sort of stuff. Cool. And then again, the Phantom Spectre will already be at R15, so just bear that in mind, or R whatever, the top rate anyway. And that build builds a couple of hours over the same time as what the Cuda does. Bear in mind, then this has got an amazing dive time. So with the Bat 3 on it, all that sort of stuff, you're going to get your 90 seconds. So
yeah, like we tried in the preview. I personally think the Spectres do better than the Nighthawks, and I think the experiments we did in there kind of confirmed that, right?
Yeah.
So this Spectre, the Phantom Spectre, might be a great addition to your fleet.
Yeah. So that's the other thing as well. If you, well, we'll talk about this in a second. We'll move forward. The radio's just stolen a bit of my thunder, but it's fine. So
Sorry.
price pack 3, no, it's okay. It's all right. The radio's just come up with something in the chat, but I'll mention it anyway. But thanks for picking it up and confirming it as well. So price pack 3, as you can see there, which is the Phantom Nighthawk, okay then, and a skirmish or torpedo D63R, another brand new torpedo, but with the same name, apart from it's got skirmisher in front of it instead of assault. Okay, it is a different torpedo. It has got longer range. It's 80. Okay, and the other one was 78. So the D63R Assault is a 78 range, and this skirmisher one has got an 80 range. So that's the key difference. It's two more and that sort of stuff, and there are some other slight alterations in it as well. But so you may see 2 torpedoes in your cabinet basically, and they are slightly different. So I think we're going to be seeing a new range of skirmisher torps. And then price pack 4, if you can get to that before you start your FM, by the way, if you haven't already got this torpedo, as Laredo said in the chat then, if you go and do price pack 4 first, you'll get the Charon torp. Because as you see down there, Charon torp is now entered into tier 4 of the FM. Now the fact is, if you've already got it, when you go and start your FM, you're going to go straight into, highly likely then, to get an extra 2 days of build tokens. Whereas if you haven't got it yet, you go and do the FM first, you've got to win the torpedo, and then you've just lost 2 days worth of build tokens.
Very good point. I mean, you should get through the campaign first, so when you do FM, you actually get the 2 day build token.
Yeah, so don't charge through if you haven't already. I mean, yeah, that's the way I would do it anyway. At least get to tier 4, fix your subs and that sort of stuff, and then go and do your FM. You've just gained 2 days worth for nothing, or you've lost 2 days for nothing if you're going to go and do this campaign afterwards. You'll be kicking yourselves. Yeah, so the Charon torp's there anyway. So there's 2 options on to get a good torpedo. I get, and everyone's complaining already, but what else do we do here? We are getting some reasonable torpedoes now to be able to go for the next 4 months. You may not have it all refitted in time for this coming raid. I get.
And why do you say 4 months? I mean, we know it's going to be well over 4 months. Yeah,
I'm just talking this until Christmas, basically, until the next 4 raid sets. But you're not going to be.
And I'm just saying because down the road on the slides you'll see that these river targets after December, when the raid cycle ends, they will become the new armadas on map to get uranium. So whatever you build to defeat them now, for the next 4 months, you keep using throughout 2017 to get uranium.
Yeah, no, agreed. No, definitely. But anyway, we're good. So an interesting. Do you notice in the prize pack for tier 4, your Tiger one has been increased to 2. But I did notice, compared to what is got in Huggies anyway, because I can't remember what the build time was, it seems a little bit longer to build than the first time round, and it's the only one that is. I might be wrong though. I'm not really sure. But when I looked at it on the prize pack and then went back across to Huggies to look at it, the build time.
I think it has a long build time. Yes.
There was a difference. It's a bit longer than what it is on Huggies. And I've built my stuff on Huggies before using this submarine, and so don't know. It may just be a typo or an error in the data on Huggies. To be honest, not sure. Another thing to take notice of, okay? And so please be cautious on this then. So in tier 5, then you obviously get the 2 times 24-hour Hell Race tokens, okay, just to build your adjust your Hell Race, and you also get a 3-day generic. Now, if you go through to tier 5. You go right through your FM as well, and you get the 5 days worth. You're a very lucky man, because I've not got it for 3 months. You can only have one of these tokens as well. So you stand the potential of losing a 3 days worth. So not only do you stand the risk of losing 2 days at tier 4, but also at tier 5 you run the risk of losing in total then 5 days worth of build tokens. So just think about that.
Yeah. So pretty much the message is, if you do this TLC and you get that 3-day token, spend it before you get to T5 in FM.
Yeah.
Because if you get another one, it won't fit in your inventory.
Exactly that. Now offline, okay. I have chatted to Raken, and I've just said to him, and he's taken it across to the guys, and he's hoping to get it in maybe next month's work in progress. Not this month's, it's too short, but next month's work in progress, where you can run through your full FM and stack all your ship build tokens and not have to keep stopping and spending and that sort of stuff. So that they're working on that. Is something they're working on. He didn't actually whilst I'm saying that, I'm not saying he didn't understand, but he didn't realise it was how much of a problem it was for some people. You've got to stop your FM, you're running crews, some people are, to do their FM, and then all of a sudden they've got to go back and then think about ship builds and all that sort of stuff, and then use up their tokens before they can continue in the FM. So
yeah, especially if you get a 2-day token and
Yeah.
you only have a day and a half or a day left on the build, and now what do you do?
yeah, so it's only going to be happening for a single run, so you must start the FM with no tokens, and you can get
Yeah.
right through the first one complete set with any tokens you could gain from tier 4, and also any tokens you could gain from tier 5. You will ideally be able to gain those tokens, but there's no exact timeline on that. But it's something he said he was going to get the team to work on.
Although, at least with the 2-day token, I've noticed, and I did that before, I had one in my inventory and I won another one, then you don't get it.
So you're going to hit
Then
something
I'm
else.
Well, first I spend the one that's in the inventory, then I go and hit something else, and it awards
It
me the
pops up.
token that I missed. Yeah,
Happened to me too. Yeah, exactly that.
and happened more than once, so it's not such a huge problem. But in tier 5, I don't know if you get the 2 days, but then the 3-day you already have one and you don't get that one. Then I don't know how that would work,
Yes, yeah.
because you got half of it. You know what I mean? So I don't know. Anyways, let's move on.
Yeah, definitely. Okay. Right. Okay. So the next one. Let's have a look then. So then I've got some work in progress quickly stuff, and we'll just scoot over these. Did you want to talk about the target changes then, rather than just people can
yeah.
read that, can't they? So
Yeah, so I think if you look at the way they are going to introduce the new 109 and phase out the 107 and bring the 102, I mean, all you're seeing here, this is Kixeye's response to the negative feedback they got in August, right? I mean, when we had the August raid and all of a sudden they surprised and changed the elite targets on us and everyone hated it, more so because of the surprise change in the last month of a cycle, right? So now they're doing, and we discussed that during the town hall meeting we had with them.
yeah,
And they proposed a few different ways of phasing things in and out, and I think this one was the preferred way, where you phase in the new target and slowly phase out the old target. So they gave us a peak at the 109. They may have adjusted it, but now it's coming back for good, I think. And then the 107 will keep running parallel throughout September. But just to be clear, if you want to pay attention to only one thing, the 107s will be gone in October.
yes, complete.
So adapt to it. I mean, complain all you want, whine all you want, be mad all you want, but if you want to keep doing FM, the 107s won't be there. It will be the 109s, similar, but not necessarily the same to what we had. And there will be a 102 they'll test for 1 week, then they'll be gone. And then they're likely going to come back after some tuning. So that's it. And I mean, I think, honestly, telling us up front and trialing 1 week, so when was it, 3 weeks ago we had the 109s?
Yeah.
And now they're coming back mid-September, and then you still have the 107s. You know what I mean? I mean, you have like a month and a half to adjust. It's way better than, hey, here's the new thing and the old thing's gone. Surprise.
Yeah, they are going away from that now, which is good, you know.
Yeah. So I know some people still won't like it because Kixeye did say they were not going to change FM for like a year. Although when they said that, they kind of said, yeah, we'll be doing small adjustments. So
Yeah, I read that as well. And actually, do you know what? I went back and reviewed that after that last outburst, and I thought to myself, whilst it was less than the 6 months they said they were going to do it, it is still a review. It's not a change of target type. It's just an adjustment within the target. So you could split hairs and say, do you know what? They are. And actually, I think what they're going to do now, by looking at the 102, we all knew that the 87 was a pile of shite. The nightmare. No one goes near the damn things because they're a nightmare. The only reason you do
too
those
much damage for a very low payout. Well,
Far
either
too
they
much.
have to be more or they have to be easier.
And this tiering system now of going to the 87 to a 102 to a 109, it does make sense. You know, and let's hope then that, you know, that, as you said, that should be easier than a 107. Okay, that's fine. So that's going to be great for a 102. It means we can grind them, and more people hopefully will be able to get to tier 5. That'd be brilliant.
Well, 13 hits will take you there, which means each 102 should pay about 25, 26 million points.
Yeah.
And then the 109 will pay 110 if it's like in preview, and so 3 of them and some pocket change gets you to T5.
I'd like it to pay 117. That'd be nice. because they can just do 3 and they're stuck.
Yeah, I suggested that too. I mean, 117.
Just divide it by 3 and just get on with it, not just a little tiny poxy bit afterwards. You know,
exactly.
It's slightly annoying, but anyway.
But
okay, so that's slide 1 on the whip. So here we go. Let's snip forward quickly for slide 2. Okay, so long-term rollout plans. As we said, you mentioned there quickly about the so the 1 and 2 bits is done. Do you want to? So the FM prizes for September.
Yeah, let's talk about them. So Shockwave plates level 4. We already have levels 1 and 2 in game. I'm using level 2 on my Retribution build that I just posted on page a few moments ago.
Yeah, me too. I am as well.
Yeah, so they give you Shockwave deflection, which is good, right? Especially if you're going to go up against Vanquishers and whatnot. I mean, if it's against the Cyclone launchers, not so much, but against anything else that has a powerful Shockwave, it's important. We're going to have this splash dispersion system. I have no idea what it does. I can only guess.
No, I don't know either. Reduces splash, maybe. I don't know. I don't quite get what it's going to do. I have to read that.
Me neither. So we'll see.
Interesting. Solar reinforcements.
Yeah, I'm excited about this one because I don't know about you guys. My base is always hitting power limit.
Yeah, me too. Right? I do have to take things off now.
Yeah, and I'm at a point where like I can't put stuff I want, and I gotta compromise because and I don't even have everything I wanted on my turrets, right? Anyways, if this is like the solar panels is a special. You put it in the turrets, and it increases base total power by 200, I think, and the individual turret max power by 200 as well. But it takes a special slot, right?
Yeah.
This one being called reinforcement clearly goes in an armor slot. Because everything that's called reinforcement are panels that you put on armor, right?
Yeah.
So I'm thinking about all those turrets in my island, the long-range turrets.
There's nothing on them.
Exactly. I run them with no armor at all.
Yeah.
And then I'm thinking warehouses where I don't put any armor at all, and my OP where I don't put any armor at all. I mean, if I can put the solar reinforcements all over and they increase my power, base to power, that would be awesome.
We'll have to wait and see, because I mean that makes sense.
No, and I'm just saying that now I have the expectation. That's my expectation, that will be something you can put on every empty armor slot and increase your total base power. And if that's what it is, amazing, right?
Yeah. Which doesn't mean I'm going to start mucking around with things like OPs and that sort of stuff and all the other bits and bobs. So
I think it's the right thing to be on tier 5 because players struggling with base power limit right now are certainly capable of doing tier 5 in FM.
Yeah. So interesting. And now what's nice is they've only got 1 prize in the tier 4, so it's good because obviously they've just dropped in the Charon Top as well. So if you hadn't had that and you aren't going to do the sub, there's technically going to be 2 in September. But obviously by the end of this week, most people should have got the Charon Top anyway.
I mean, let's say you don't, and then you still got to get 2 prizes in tier 4. But after that, you're going to have 2 weeks times 2 FMs per week, so 4 2-day tokens.
Yeah.
Which is great,
and it's definitely helping. I've noticed a difference in my own need to coin fleets and that sort of stuff and that sort of stuff. But I'm caught up with a lot of my fleet builds now simply by using all the tokens and doing small adjustments so it just hits the right amount of, or maybe the token plus an hour or something like that, or a token plus an overnight. It's definitely working.
People who got the Vendetta, I noticed that even a fully loaded Vendetta build, it's under 10 days. So people who got the Vendetta and that 10 pack of Vendetta tokens, you literally get a Vendetta for free.
Yes.
Right?
Yeah, agreed. Yeah, it's good, isn't it? So
yeah, it's awesome.
Okay, and then the tier 1 is
I think Liam wants to say something.
Go on, mate.
Oh, sorry, I wasn't going to say anything.
It's all right, mate.
I heard your voice.
I thought you were asleep. Just trying to catch you out, mate.
Maybe he was snoring then. I thought he said something. He probably was snoring.
Maybe it was. Okay, so there we go. So we'll go to the next one then. So the VXP weekend, we said this is September 23rd. No details on targets. More to find out. The VXE bulk buy is going to be coming out again. that's clearly probably going to be people getting subs and obviously the new hull, or one or the other. I don't know really, to be honest. It'll either be for Fury, won't it, or it'll be for people that are choosing now to get Hell Wraiths and then to rank them. So I don't know which one it's going to be for, to be honest. And then, again, it says increasement fragment drop weekend, earn more fragments when each sector threat level during a specific time, more to follow. As and when that's going to be, I don't know. But so those are the things that I picked out of a very large September work in progress, because actually some of the things have already been dealt with, because obviously the two previews were in there and that sort of stuff. So I basically binned all that stuff out. So that's it on the September work in progress. So we'll quickly flip it to the bug fixes and tuning, which I think is next. Yeah, we are.
There
okay. Well, people can read, so I'll let them read them, to be honest.
No, the first one I didn't notice. I honestly don't have any ships using Infernal Core, so I wouldn't have noticed ever. The second one, actually, there was a guy on our page who posted a video or a snapshot saying, hey, I don't think my ATR is working, the range is the same. You saw that, right?
Yeah, I saw that as well, and I thought I couldn't test that either because I had nothing. I hadn't put one on. I thought I'm not putting on just for the sake of it, but but then clearly that's the case now. He was right that it wasn't.
He was right, exactly. He was right, and it was fixed now. So I'd be curious for somebody to try it again and document that, but should be working.
So well put out. That's good of him, So I was just wondering, going back to the first one, the fix there. Do you think people have been putting the Infernal Core on the Retribution?
Retribution, absolutely, yes.
To get an extra boom when they go and kill it as a just put that on and nothing else, and then just go and blows up the guard fleet.
Yeah, you're gonna get you get a double boom, right?
Yeah. So I'd just be interested to see what that would be, because 10,000 was supposed to be, wasn't it? 10,000 explosive damage. Yeah, that's what it normally is. So I don't really care about avatars and that sort of stuff, to be honest. But that should be working now. The avatar, the person participating in the Spectre. In fact, that is important. You didn't know who was hitting you and who wasn't hitting you.
Yeah, because if you try watching a battle, you'd see yourself as the hitter, and clearly you're not the hitter, right?
Yeah, so if you want to watch a mate getting hit in your own alliance, it looks like you're hitting him. So actually, that is quite an important change. I know people are happy with that.
Yeah, then there are some changes in Mega Hull, mostly cosmetic, but one of them related to map speed, and I think that's it.
Yeah, there's not much else. To be honest, and the thing obviously that hasn't been fixed is, yet again, the update came in today, and I logged on straight away after the update, and I already had another 5.5 hours of fleet damage. So they hadn't fixed it, Right, I'm just going to say, guys, everybody in the chat there, that Liam's going to bug out. He's been working a 15-hour day today, so he's dead. So that's why I'm hosting tonight. He's not. He's actually away from home, so he's just going to say quickly good night, and then he's off. So that's it.
Sorry, guys. It's a great show, and I'll catch up with you guys in a week. Take care.
Yeah, take care, mate.
Cheers, guys. Thanks.
Oh dear, he's in some dodgy hotel. He's probably watching some dodgy movie. That's what he's probably doing. But there you go. Anyway, I won't tell Lucy that. So that's it. Yeah. So basically, as he said there, they haven't resolved the issue, and it's something they have been trying to work on. So every time there's a game update comes in, then clearly that they're having issues. So they're working on it, as you can see there. They're going to investigate further as to what the cause is, and try and go back and then unstick that. So that's it. Right, so I think what we'll do is we're going to move forward now to the area of the game that basically is mostly, if you noticed when you logged in, you noticed that on the on the left-hand side was the little orange triangle that came up. And if you clicked on that, there was sort of a quarterly state of the game update, which if you want to read more, you could have then gone to the Kixie forum, that sort of stuff. So, Ren, do you want to pick up on this then, mate, rather than me reading?
Yeah, I mean, we're not going to read line by line, but no. Just saying, right? We know the story of the event arc. It's the Reavers don't have a single leader anymore. A bunch of small clans, and that's what we're fighting. There's one thing that's interesting to me, particularly, is the PvP. They want to further improve and balance the PvP experience. Part of that is re-looking at the medals system, which is important because it may lead to rebalancing to the hitting bracket. So level 110 people won't be able to hit level 50 anymore if the whole thing becomes based on medals and scores and whatnot.
Yeah, I think a complete revamp was what I'd heard about.
Yeah,
that sort of
I
stuff.
mean, I don't have the details to share, but they're looking into it, and it's interesting because they're taking those ideas to heart.
Yeah, I agree.
Some feedback on Megaships and also on the chores. I think every community has been very vocal with them that there's still too many chores and too many half useless chores that could be consolidated. So they're looking into that. It's which is something, right? Before they weren't, now they are looking into that. They recognize it's a bit of a problem. And better communication, so they don't surprise us anymore as much as possible, which is good of them to recognize that they've been lacking in that area.
Well, especially when they throw in the odd things like, let's just chuck in a bit of plasma. Look what they've just done in the preview. Let's just chuck some missiles on these massive Reaver Hulks, and we're not going to tell you it's coming, and stand by for an absolute whopping of your ass when you put your Hellraiser
fair enough
in there.
Was a preview, but I mean, it was just out of character with all the rest of the target previews we've been seeing so far. So, still like, what the fuck is that?
Yeah, exactly. Yeah. So, so whilst communication, I get, and some of it is forward thinking. I get that. We were thinking about doing this, we were thinking about that, and like Riken saying, come on, give me some feedback on these megaships. What can I do? What is it you want to be able to do with them, and that sort of stuff. So that's a new direction. That's great. But then they counter that when they come and do fucking stupid things like that, excuse my French, when actually completely a bolt out of the blue, you go in and you go, oh, what's that thing that's jumped up in the air? And all of a sudden it goes slam when it hits your subs and virtually kills it.
And I mean, that's on top of the whole plasma damage that you can avoid, and now you have this stupid mortar you can't avoid either. So it's like, really?
Yeah. Have a word with yourselves.
Let me say again, really?
Yeah. So really turn it down, please, all right? Because otherwise we're going to have a lot of people going, yeah, you know what you can do with your raid. I ain't doing those targets. Okay. So let's have a quick look at this event arc business then. So again, that's another wall of text. So basically, we know what's going on. Basically, it's a change of stuff in September. Use your Nighthawks. But I think the next one is more importantly. So,
but I think the TLDR for that is just like this event cycle again runs for 4 months. It ends in December, and they say here this will replace the Draconian Armadas on map.
Yes.
And you're going to keep using that throughout 2017 to get uranium. So please do build your subs and optimize them each month until you get them really good, because you're going to be using that to get uranium next year. So they better be good so you can do it on the cheap, right?
And do you see the pull-out point there? The September to December, the normal cost would be 15 million points for the top prize.
Which you have said already, but people now have a formal message.
Yeah, but they wouldn't believe us and that sort of stuff. We've been going, oh, it's going to be 50 million. Oh, it's going to be this. It's going to be 30 million.
Yeah.
It's 15, So, that's what it is. So,
but I think it's good if it's state of the game and if it's in a game pill, because a lot of people don't come to any pages or Facebook or forums. So if it's in the game, it's great.
Yeah, it is. It's nice having a game pill because and it's really it's one screen. It's one screen, isn't it? It's really, really good. So, I was quite impressed with that. And if you want to read further, then obviously you clearly can. And I clicked the read further just because obviously for searching for tonight, it didn't actually tell you a great deal more anyway. To be honest, it just took you to the links as well, which is good. So part 2 of this then. So do you want to discuss about this bit, because this is the key piece, I think.
Yes. So this is very important. Just so they are being very clear and very upfront that for the next 4 months, if you look at tiers 2, 3, and 4, they will not change. From September to December, the targets will be exactly the same. That's what they're saying here, okay? But they use the word similar, so maybe I won't say they're going to be exactly the same because they're saying similar. But they're saying after September, October, November, December, tiers 2, 3, 4, all targets, all targets, all targets. So no changes, right? Now, tier 5, which is the elite one, will change every month, pretty much to keep it challenging for the top tier of players. So in September, there will be one target, similar to what was in preview. And that one target will give you a bonus upon completion. In October, that target from September will be there again, and there will be a new one. So now you're going to score more points and a bigger bonus. So by doing 2 targets, you get more bonus, more points than one target in September. So you're going to be able to do your raid even faster.
A tiered challenge, yeah.
Yeah. In November, the elite target from September is gone. The target from October stays. and they add a new one. And so again in December. So in December, the target from November stays, the one from October is gone, and there will be a new one. So pretty much they'll keep increasing difficulty on that elite tier. Right? So as people adapt and learn, they will still have, but what they said is that the bonus for completion of that tier would increase.
Which is what they did in the last one on the very last set of the last raid, wasn't it? So on the whole raid,
so the bigger bonus. So you know,
and in the end for me, because I had the Zoe Apollo, you know, actually that was the most ergonomic way for me to get my points and to go and help my rest of my alliance, and that's what I did do. And I got it down, I think, to 6 coins. Yeah,
I think if you have hell raids or you have tiger sharks, you can do tier 4 and you can grind your points through tier 4 like I did in August, because honestly I didn't want to spend the money needed to do tier 5, those crazy targets. And pretty much that's the new normal now, they're saying. It's going to be, and it's going to change every month, and it's always going to be hard, a little bit harder than the month before, or a lot harder, I don't know. But that's for the people who don't want to spend the time but want to spend the cash.
Yeah,
pretty much.
Yeah, but that's out nice and clear. Like I said, we'll probably pin that one up as a separate photo on our page as well. But also, this will be in the PowerPoint pack as well once we put this out.
No, I think we should hide it. So we see a lot of people whining when it keeps changing.
Well, it's going to be, but I'm going to keep bringing it out. You know, this is something that people need to understand, that basically tier 5 then is a rolling set of targets. Every month is going to be a fresh one, but you'll have a hangover target from the previous one. And that's basically how it's going to work out. But the remainder are going to stay the same. So you've got 4 months to go. Do you know what? I can hit tier 4. And you've got that nice feeling that, you know what? I can actually hit tier 4 next month as well, because my subs did well this month.
And the other thing is, if somebody that got the hell rate in let's say in August, right? Like I did, like you did, we find a good build that's doing tier 4 really well. Whoever's only getting the hell rate in September can just go and copy that build and know that the targets will be the same in October. You know what I mean?
Yeah, totally. I mean, like I said in when I did with my stream, you know, with the stream that me and you sat down, I have now started my adjustment to that hole that we came up with has been two days and 1 hour each, and I'm on the 3rd one now, so I'm nearly ready to start the raid. If that's the one that's going to do the job, I'll clearly stream the first bit of the genuine raid anyway.
So maybe I'm crazy, but I would expect everyone, not everyone, but 80% of the player base by December to have hell rates or at least tiger sharks and be doing tier 4.
Yes, I think you're probably right. And based on what we saw in the preview, tier 4 was definitely accessible to tiger sharks, without a doubt.
Yes,
definitely accessible to tiger sharks. And just especially if you've got a couple of scatter guns, you're laughing. Yeah, definitely. Okay, so that's the event art. Yep. Right, next slide. So PvP separation then.
Yeah, so they're pretty much saying, hey, you know, we made those changes back in March or April. I don't remember anymore. What they separated PvP, PVE. They think the PvP separation is working. They've been through some big data there, and they checked that the win rate is good, except at the top tier of players. So the top bases are pretty much defeating attackers almost always, right? So they want to rebalance the top end, but at the same time, improve low-level base defense. So at that level as well, so the high-level players don't just resort to hitting easy bases, right? Which is, I think it's actually bad for everyone, because the high-level guy, when he's just hitting level 50s, is not fun. I think for most people.
It's the Manic Monday moment, isn't it?
Yeah, it's just exactly. But then for the low level who can never defend and barely scratches the paint, it's not fun either. So they're working on it, whatever that means. And they're going to be adding more Conqueror hulls to diversify. But when they say diversify, it's important that they want to diversify without much power creep, right? Just lateral movements there, like they've been doing so far.
Well, up until now, and even the release of the Fury from the basic, I haven't seen. I mean, let's go back 18 months. Let's go back 18 months ago, and when every hull came out, it was so overpowered. It took us at least 2 months to be able to stop it. You know, I think we can stop most of these fleets that are coming through now, even the combo fleets. Several bases can stop them dead without getting in. You know, it's just working out what you need to do.
A lot of the high level bases can. You're right.
Yeah. I think so.
And then, but then the downside is like now everyone who has his new shiny fleets, they want to hit and win something, so they're going to start hitting down the ladder, right? Well, let me go after some 80s, some 70s, some 60s, whatever I can beat, just so I use my fleets, right?
Yeah, no, agree. So yeah, it'd be interesting. Yeah. More developments. So we'll see. It's the rollout. That's always, the promise. Proof the pudding's in the eating. So you can say what you like. It's the rollout, and it's the end state. Is what I think 2 weeks into the game, once something's been released, 2 weeks later is the mark of whether it actually worked or not.
Yeah.
Which is sometimes.
But I'll tell you. I mean, out of the three, let's say, talk about the three Conqueror hulls we have in the game so far. Yeah. I like the Revenge and I like the Vendettas a lot. I like their short build time. I like their short repair time. I don't like the Retribution because of the repair time. I mean, once you add the 2 heavy weapons in there, you're talking about 4-hour repair per hull.
Yeah.
So it's a big downside for me because, I mean, let's say someone tries a fleet of 5 Retributions. You're talking 20-hour repair again, and that's the problem we were having before, right?
Yeah, we don't want to go back to there.
And the Retribution is a problem because, I mean, with only one ship, you never get the thermal launchers to shockwave. You need like at least 2 ships firing non-stop and to get a shockwave. So 4-hour plus repair each, not good.
So slide 2 we're on to now. Clearly they're obviously going to take Foundation further than they already have at the moment, so that'll be interesting. Yeah. OP8 is mentioned there.
Well, they gave us OP8, right? So now they're probably going to be talking, I don't know when, but they're going to be talking about OP9.
Yeah.
They're talking about, again, revamping the medal system and trying to make it more interesting PvP experience. I can't say anything, but there are some discussions they had with the town hall players about their ideas on the new medal system. I think they are very interesting. I don't know which ones are going to stick, which ones are going to go away, but some good ideas flying around.
Okie dokie. It does need a review, without a doubt.
And we're having a chance to provide feedback, which is the most important.
Yeah. Yeah, very much so. With some key people that represent quite a big piece of the population of the community. So, yeah, it is from the various different shows that are out there, that sort of stuff. So, and
not only shows, but I mean, we now have a Stu Manlivo from PNLS as part of the town hall now, so it's a big alliance. It's you get more representation. I think it's a good thing.
Yeah, no, it's good. And as long as that panel's representative of the community, that's all that matters, isn't it? So you can't have it. It's the same as anything. If everybody's shouting out, you can't hear a damn thing. But if you can take things forward from the page as you do for us, you're representing 5,500 people. So
what I think is the most. Yeah, sorry, Mark. Go ahead.
No, it's fine. It's good, and as far as I'm concerned, you are the conduit for this community. If you're in the TFC, I know you read the page, you do an awful lot of modding on the page, you answer a lot of questions, and you absorb all that, filter it down, and then take it to the town hall.
Yeah, and like I said, I don't always agree with everyone in there. So of course I'm going to be representing the views I agree with. But there are players in the panel who don't think like me either. So we have good discussions there, and we vote on things, and we give different points of view. And in the end, Kixeye is going to do what Kixeye is going to do, but at least they had some player input before they make decisions, right? Yeah,
exactly. So flipping on to Megaships then, basically, so it says it says a sizable amount of players are either beginning or to set up the Megaships or already have them on the world. I wouldn't say it's a sizable amount, but there's definitely a few out there, isn't there?
Yeah, and I think, I think it was like pretty much 2-3 per sector on average we calculated. But now without the tokens they gave for Gantry and for Hyperion, maybe more. I know my Hyperion's still like 20-something days away. I don't have it either. I know the BP professor just posted his first blog entry about the Hyperion, and he just got his. So yeah, I mean, more and more, but it's still a very tiny percentage of the player base.
Yeah, I read Prof's thing. It was quite interesting and that sort of stuff. And then there's a couple of them about, I've gone into the mega hole page, of doing that as well, and that sort of stuff, because there's a few key things that if we want to keep up with it on TFC as well, we've got to, mix in with all the other communities to make sure that we all get the same sort of answers across the board. Imri, interestingly, sent me a quick, Imri comes on the open mic and that sort of stuff. He actually sent in a request to Kixie with a video to say that, when you go and, you press L and then you look for a megaship, it doesn't show you any megaships. That radar's not working. So when you press L and it says, you can press L and go and find the person that last hit you, it takes you there. You try pressing megaship, it doesn't take you to a megaship. It takes you to any. Yeah, it doesn't work at all. And he tried it with. He actually videoed it and showed it to 4 or 5 different targets, and not one of them was a megaship. It was just white, just blue water. There was nothing there. So that's. But the speed they travel though, and then there's only so few around. That makes it very hard then to go and find a battle, doesn't it?
Oh, it's gonna be easier now with the hiving, right? Because I think there are points in sector where you gotta go to so you can hive. So now if you go to those points in every sector, those chords in every sector, there may be a hive of them in there. And the way they're going to be hiving is through this drone module, which is also, the drone modules also works as a sort of countermeasure, I believe. Yeah. So it's a defense. So it should improve, because I know right now a lot of people are very frustrated because every time they log in, their mega hull is destroyed because somebody +3 fleets went there and just smashed it.
But like I did say, if you can time it right though, so your mega hull's not dead, just send it to the last sector in your world. It takes like a good day and a half to get this sort of stuff, and then when you log off that.
Somebody said that wasn't working anymore because it was now by default using towers. Is it true? I don't know.
I don't know. But it was working.
Yeah.
I don't know if it is now.
And then somebody said it wasn't because now automatically would go through towers.
Well, that's crazy. It shouldn't do that. Yeah, but then, anyway, I'm not so sure. But I picked up on that and so basically to do the hiving thing, it's going to be for the subsector cores, the old DRAC bases. There's going to be a module in the corner there where basically you click on that, and that's basically where you instigate it. So that's
but I think one message I'll send to the communities. I've seen both GD Raken and Paul Priest, who are kind of leading, I think, this whole mega hull thing. They are listening to feedback, and they are going through game data, and they are listening to player feedback and reading pages and everything, trying to make this a good player experience, right? So if people who already have their Hyperions and there are things you don't like, voice your concerns. Be constructive, but voice your concerns. Like my main concern that I've been voicing, I don't have time for that. So many TLCs, so many FM, so many PVE stuff, chores overall. Plus the fact that I want to hit some player bases and be hit back and whatnot. I cannot find the time in the day to do yet another thing in game.
Yeah, agreed.
I just consolidate some of the PVE so I have more time. That was my message.
Yeah, no, I agree, because we actually have got a job to do as well. Because if he wants to play this, I've got to go and earn the money so I can play it.
I have a job. I read a book. I have my family. I don't have time to play this 4 hours a day. You know what I mean? It's like half an hour here, 1 hour there.
Yeah, that's it. Okay, so and talking of chores, here we are. Look.
Yeah, there we go. So they wanna consolidate stuff. So they're looking at ways of consolidating PVE chores. Most importantly, they are reassessing sector threat. At first, they thought it was a great idea because people could bring the sector threat up to do stuff whenever they wanted, instead of before, if you remember, the uranium targets, they would only show up on Tuesdays and Fridays. And people would say, but Tuesday is a bad day for me. Friday is a bad day for me.
Yeah.
And then they said, okay, so here now go on your time. But then the downside now is it takes a lot of chore work to get it yellow. It takes even more chore work. Yellow, not so much, but orange, it takes a lot of work to get it to orange, right? You got to just kill a lot of armadas to get it to orange.
Well, you've got to be in the right sector. That's the point, isn't it? It almost makes you have to go to a sector that's busy.
Yeah.
And that thins the worlds out, where you can go through and then you go and try and hit out a sector, which a lot of people tend to do.
Too much. Yeah.
And there's nothing in some of the worlds, absolutely nothing.
Some sectors, you're right. Some sectors are just dead water. You go to 400, you can barely load the map. So busy it is. Yeah. I'm in 352 now. It's most of the time orange, and it's very busy map. But you go to 2 sectors to the left or to the right, and it's empty. It's nothing, right?
Yeah. No, absolutely agree.
So what they said is right. I think it created a very uneven experience for players if you're not in the right sector or you don't move to the right sector. So they're reassessing the whole thing.
Yeah, it's just about road crews and that sort of stuff as well to help fit in maybe payouts and that sort of stuff. That would be interesting.
Because that was not part of my feedback to those guys about mega holes. I'm like, oh, you guys wanted me to play mega holes. I mean, just the time I need to hit 91s to get titanium, blah, 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 blah. When I have to spend half an hour rolling crews until I get the one I want, and I spend 200,000 uranium, right? So it's like 15 minutes to get 200,000 uranium, and then 30 minutes rolling crews nonstop, where I can even chat. Like 45 minutes right there, where I could be playing with this mega hole stuff. I just don't have that time.
Yeah,
and probably the mega hole would be more fun, but I need the crews. You know what I mean?
It's a catch-22, isn't it? I was rolling for a DOS crew in the last raid set, and I spent over $1 million in U to get one DOS crew. How unlucky am I? But I had to fill up 4 times to go and get the damn thing. I've
been rolling almost every day, 200K, and I'm getting a lot of remote raiders and some other good crews, like some Bullseye Brigade and whatnot, but I haven't gotten a single Grease Monkeys this month. And last month, before the raid, I had 5. So it's random. I know it sucks, but still, I'm going to keep trying until I get at least a couple Grease Monkeys, if I can.
Yeah, exactly. So yeah, and don't forget, if you want to try and get your sector bar up quickly, then it's still killing those level 100 targets is the way to do it. But obviously
to kill yellow,
to get to yellow. So that gets you up, and that gets you back into the U status, doesn't it? So that's
you hit 2 of those targets, I think you go to yellow.
Yeah. So if someone's dedicated enough for their sector to want to go and do that, that's fine. But if you're in sector 400 like I am, we don't stay in teal for more than 5 minutes. As soon as it hits teal again, everyone's out doing the res, and then it's back up again. So, but it's a busy sector, and it's got a lot of game lag now. A hell of a lot of game lag because it is so busy. Right here. Okay, so that's chores. So this is the communication. There's 2 pages of this stuff here, but basically,
to keep it simple, I think we already covered this one, right? They understand we don't like surprises. They want to improve the customer the communication with us, so we're not surprised anymore.
Transition of targets,
A lot of the previous slides were about that slow transition of targets, telegraphing how the raid's going to go in the next 4 months, telegraphing that these guys will be uranium targets next year. It's all there, right? But the one caveat they say is like, we still reserve the right to change stuff last minute if we think it's for the betterment of the game. Their words, right?
Yeah.
So, they're going to communicate, but still everything they communicate ahead is subject to change until it's released, and sometimes even after.
However, they will definitely, I will say this, I don't care what anybody says, if a target is too easy, they will ramp it up. If they're not making enough dollars, enough pounds, and whatever, then they will ramp up the targets. There's absolutely, because they have to make money, because the people that make these games have also got a family to feed. Now, so long as that ratio isn't too bad, and we always keep talking about what ratio we accept,
I think we're all kind of happy when we're spending like 1 coin per million or 2 coins per million points. Everyone kind of thinks that range is acceptable, and you keep hammering that, and I don't think they always listen, but okay. I'm pretty sure there are maybe 1,000 players who don't mind spending 10 coins per million points, You see those folks with like 500 million points at the end of the raid. Hackers excluded, but I think that problem is mostly under control now.
Yeah. Well, I'll tell you what. When that double S set target came out, there wasn't many people up there in 500 million points or sort of whatever it was there? Everyone was down to normal levels.
If I try to find the silver lining, it's like, okay, with this stupidly hard target, not many people were doing them, so that means not many hackers getting free repairs, right?
Yes, yeah, exactly.
So and probably the guys doing were just throwing money out of the window anyways.
I had a little session actually this week myself, was going around in our sector because it's quite busy, and I went around and hit virtually every base that was actually banned, just to see, because even if it's being taken out, you can still see what it was they were hacking. And I would say probably 95% were turrets.
Yeah, you see some stupid phases with 100 turrets in there.
Yeah, they were 100 turrets in them, or they were the right number of turrets, and these were the old banned ones, but they were all, a ridiculously low level base, or a high level base, sorry, but the tech inside it was nothing more than level 40, but all the turrets were definitely up to top level. So but those stupid fleets that we used to be seeing on the sea, I haven't seen anything like that in a long time, which is a server-side fix, which is good.
They moved stuff to the server side. I think that's gone. I haven't seen any obviously hacked fleets anymore. So I think it's gone. I don't know. you know.
So yeah, so there you go. There's 4 key points. Yeah, so that's it. Really, to be honest, you can read the slides. Like I say, I'll upload the PDF and that sort of stuff. Read it at your leisure. If this means okay, or obviously then go on to the pill on the left hand side of the page and then click on that, and then you get a pop up screen. Either way you want to do it, sort of stuff. But take note about the changes. About obviously, you know, if you're going to go and do the sub campaign and your FM, do them in the right order, or you risk to lose at least up to 5 days worth of build tokens, which nobody wants to give away build tokens, do they?
No.
You know, it'd be a bit foolish, wouldn't it? I advise anybody, you know, if you're thinking, oh, the Phantom Hellwraith is coming, it isn't soon. So you may as well just put the Phantom Cuda in front. 15 minutes during the raid to fix it up. It's not the end of the world. But obviously, if you dock it, you've got to fix it. You've got no choice. Then, well, that's about it. I haven't got anything else to say, to be honest. I'll shut up, shall I?
No, I think we're good. We covered everything.
Yeah, it was. Yeah, cool, excellent. Okay, well, I'll turn this off then, shall I? And stop. I'll stop showing the stuff. Good, excellent. So yeah, I've been watching chat, and I see the radio's in. He's had some good points in that sort of stuff, and it didn't actually steal my thunder. You know, he just reconfirmed for me. Thanks about the Charon talk and that sort of stuff, because he said exactly the same thing virtually as I was just about pointing it out. So, you know, other people are thinking about that. So more people that say it to other people as well in their sector or around the community, then the better. Because what I hate is people finding something out about sort of like two minutes too late, and then all of a sudden they're killing themselves, going, oh well, I've just thrown away 2 days worth of build tokens, or and now I can't get this done in time. So, you know. Yeah,
and just, I mean, I think the Charon Torps, they are very, very good. They retrofitted at R15, their damage output is very high, and I think the build time is something around 11 hours or 10 hours now.
The thing I was going to do quickly was, while I've got 2 seconds, is, you know, that submarine build that we were looking at quickly. I was just going to quickly share the screen on basically what I'd sort of settled on. And to be honest, for me, I actually in the end went away from using the Memiscus system, to be honest, because I couldn't get the speed up fast enough as I wanted it. Whereas for this, I've managed to get it up, you know, as you can see, there to 64, and then with a crew, it's nearly up to 70.
Nice.
And it's making a big difference. You know,
well, especially if you're going to try S targets.
Yeah,
the faster you are, the more you kill before you surface the first time and lose the sub to the stupid mortars.
Yeah, and I've got 2 of these done, and I've got 2 of them that are still back at the old 56 speed, which is my first build, and the difference is phenomenal. I was really surprised. It does make a massive difference. I can get to those targets so much quicker, and it's at least 1 volley less that I'm receiving with this sub. So overall, I'm making a big difference. I'm going straight in and hitting, you know, as soon as I can, I'm going straight in. And this is, I'm actually using in that S-set target, I'm using a gunboat first. So as soon as you go in, those mortars or missiles, whatever, they hit the gunboat, which means they've got to reload. And in that time, I've got time then to not only go forward and kill off one of those big bulk ships as well. You know, I don't get so much damage on my subs when they do come up. So it's definitely helps.
It's a 40-second reload, they said, right? Robot said that on the preview. And
right.
So yeah, once the gunboat gets killed, that means it's 40 seconds for them to reload it again.
Yeah,
that should save you another surfacing.
One surface, yeah. That's what I found anyway. So I just thought I'd just say that's basically where I've gone with a build sort of stuff. You know, other people are doing lots of other things, that sort of stuff. You know, I think definitely the fact that if you go all twister, you're going to make a mistake, because people that found out that in the preview, that if you're going to go twisters totally 100%, you know, and you trigger those ships by mistake, you have a hell of a job killing the damn things.
No, some people were saying it was okay that the twisters were actually killing them even when they were moving.
I found it all right personally if you're square on, you know, because obviously you're sort of coming straight at you or going straight away from them. Then because obviously the line of shot is still the same. But if you haven't got the splash up there and that sort of stuff, you know, I did see a couple of people as I was watching some people in the preview that they were shooting them and then they were missing. You know, it took 3 rounds instead of 1 round to do it, sort of thing. So.
Oh, okay.
But it's you know, horses for courses. It really is. I just thought I'd show that. You know, I don't mind showing the builds I'm going for. That for me after the preview, that was my 2-day adjustment. I've gone to this now.
And what's your cloak?
For that, it's 103. No, that's
okay. 103 minus 10% from the special that they don't deduct.
And I'm having no issues, to be honest. So, cool. And I based that off of, you know, we went in the Barracudas, didn't we? Remember that? It was only 66. You know, so I thought to myself, well, you know, even if this is 103 and take off the 10, that's still all right. And to be honest, I've just hit that boss target now in the sub raid, sub TLC, and it was fine, no issues at all. You know,
don't say that out loud. You still want them to tone it down.
Well, no, I'm saying that the range was okay. I'm not saying the target was okay. The target was ridiculous.
No, I think it does way too much damage, and especially that unavoidable damage. I hate that, right?
Yeah, it stinks. Absolutely stinks.
Yeah, I think the damage should be dealt when you make a mistake.
Yeah, absolutely agree.
You know
absolutely agree, mate. So that's it. Unless anybody's got any points in the chat, I'll just quickly flip back for a couple of, see if I can see anything there. Yeah, it is a heavy corners already, but yeah, if you don't coin, keep away from that blinking top tier 5 target. And they're going away from what they used to say. They used to say, didn't they, B sets, A sets, and all that sort of stuff. They're calling them tiers now, just to sort of like keep it in line with the FM. So
the tiers start at 5 at the top, but then it goes down to 2. There's no tier 1. Tier 1 and 2 are the same thing for them.
Oh, there's a quick question there from Heartbreaker. Sorry, mate. TSM, can you hit Megas and save the titanium even if your Hyperion is not finished? No is the answer. Okay, you can't do that. All right, then you could to start with, and then they changed it because it was never supposed to have happened. So anybody that did manage to get some titanium before the Hyperion was finished, you got to bank that. But from that point forward, then if you were hitting and getting titanium points, actually, if your Hyperion wasn't built, you were wasting your effort. So don't do it.
Yeah, it doesn't show up your only titanium anymore.
Yeah.
When you hit them.
Yeah, so don't do it. It's not wise because you're just wasting effort and obviously having to fix things as well.
And I'll be honest, they could offer us a second option for titanium and whatnot. I mean, those 91 targets get so boring after a while. They're all the same.
Yeah, they are.
You know, for instance, right? I mean, all those other Assault Legion targets on map, or people can go and get fragments for Foundry. They should pay some titanium as well. You know, at least now we have some variation. It's not all the same. Again, chore consolidation. They said they're going to do it. I hope they do it, because the way it is just such a waste of time.
Yeah. So yeah, I've got nothing else, mate. Unless you have, I'm done.
No,
to be honest.
I'm done. They even turned the lights off here at the office, so I really gotta go.
Okay, right then. Well, take care, all. And if we don't speak to you before, we'll definitely speak to you on the open mic at the weekend. Okay. All the best.
Take care, everyone. Bye bye.